Good evening. Today is January 10, 2022. It is about 6:34 p.m. and this is a meeting of the Streets and Sidewalks Committee. I'm Bobby Phillips, the chair of the committee. To my right is Councilwoman Lynn Snee, and to my left is Councilman Samuel Pierce. And we're here to hear from staff about a resolution of necessity for repair and replacement of our sidewalks for the 2022 program, Phase 14. And Mr. Titterington, are you going to be leading that? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is Phase 14 of the annual sidewalk replacement program. In your memo, you see the area. You should see two maps. Primary area of this, 134 parcels, are in the southeast, south of State Rock 41 East Main Street. There is a section of Fox Harbor that is included as well. That is on the second map that you see. This is the resolution of necessity. This is the first step where we will notify the property owners that the repairs need to be done. We will give them a time limit on whether or not they'd like to do it themselves, after which then we would go out to bid and then give them the opportunity to either pay the contractor or have the work assessed over 5 years on their property tax bill.
I don't have any questions, as this is a recurring annual project. We, except for the fact that this, we are doing almost the maximum amount of what we're allowed, or what we have usually done this year also, is that correct?
Right.
Okay. I have no further questions. Either one of you two folks have any questions? Okay. Anyone else on council have any questions on this item? Anyone else in the audience have any questions or comments on this item? And this is not an emergency, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And having that in mind, how do you wish to act on this, Mrs. C?
Move forward.
And Mr. Pierce?
Move forward.
It's unanimous with the committee to move forward with this item.
Thank you.
Moving right along, let me scroll down here. Okay, we have a second resolution of necessity for the construction, repair, and replacement of sidewalks in the South Stanfield Road Reconstruction Project Phase 1 area. And Mr. Titterington, are you going to continue? Thank you.
So this is a resolution of necessity, Phase 1, South Stanfield. This is the Ohio Public Works Commission project from 442 that was funded in the 2022 budget. This is the work that would be assessed back to property owners in the cases where there is either no sidewalk or substandard sidewalk. It's the same as we've done on McCaig as well as North Market when we did those sections. And so this is no different. You do have a map of the area in your packet. We are requesting emergency legislation so that we can keep the project on schedule, given that it is an OPWC grant that is involved.
Is this tied into also our South Stanfield street project of the intersection of 41 and Main Street? Are we doing?
This is the first section. That would be the third section.
Got it. Okay.
Third phase.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Pierce, do you have any questions?
Not at this time.
Okay. Mrs. Snee?
Can you just explain to me a little bit what the shared use path is? Is that a sidewalk? I'm just looking.
It's a sidewalk, but it's a wider sidewalk, so shared use means that it would not only be available for pedestrians, but have some bicycle infrastructure as well.
Is it
That would be
street
optional.
level shared
Yes,
use?
it is.
Okay, all right. I just was trying to picture that.
I mean, it's elevated on the curb like a sidewalk would
Oh,
be, but,
so it's
yeah.
like a sidewalk
Yeah,
then, not
I mean, it's not.
like a bike path on the road?
No,
It's
no,
okay.
it's not.
All right.
Correct.
I was just
Okay.
trying to understand what that would be
Correct.
visually. Thank you.
Any other council folks in the audience have any questions? Anyone else in the audience have any questions on this item? Okay, Mrs. Snee, what's your pleasure with this?
Move forward.
Mr. Pierce?
Move forward.
And it is unanimous with the committee to move forward with emergency on this item. Our next item is the recommendation for the West Main Street Corridor Improvements Project Phase 1 and on our PID.
Okay, so this is the long-awaited, much-anticipated request for authorization to finally get construction underway on Phase 1 of West Main Street, which would go from Cherry Street out west to Ridge Road. The requested authorization is $7.7 million. That is slightly higher than what was in the budget by $1.5 million. That is not our doing. That is based on a comparison of recent contracts that have been led through ODOT and the state of the economy, the kind of bids that are coming in, based on our quantities, the unit prices, and the contractor prices that are coming in at this time. We will monitor this closely. Depending on timing and a number of other factors, we hope that we can come well under that $7.7 million. But we will report as soon as we need to, if we need to, if we need to have a reappropriation. Ultimately, there are a variety of different financing options that we are looking at with the auditor, and we haven't locked into any of those yet. But we do need to get authorization so that we can get this on the street to be prepared to, pardon the pun, to be in construction mode pretty soon after the Troy Strawberry Festival.
So we have, that additional money we have targeted to come out of capital improvement?
Fund, right, Fund 441.
Yeah. Okay. Mrs. Rhodes, how many contractors do we expect to bid on this? I mean, in the general sense of what we've received in the past for a project this size?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing, uncertainty or unknown right now is the time in which we're bidding. Typically, we get best bids like in October if we go out to bid, so we don't know about that. But I would anticipate number of contractors, 5 to 7. We've been talking for the last couple of years with area contractors, and several of them are able to bond the estimate of the project. And then we know that there's Dayton contractors that would definitely be able to bond the project. So we're hoping 5 to 7.
Okay. Tentatively?
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have. Do either one of you folks have a question on this item? Mr. Pierce? Okay. Any other council folks in the audience have any questions or comments on this item? Anyone else have any comments, questions? All right, seeing none, how do you wish to proceed, Mr. Pierce?
Proceed with it.
Okay, Mrs. Sneed? All right, it's unanimous with the committee to move forward on this item as staff has presented here with the price increase.
Okay.
How wonderful. Glad to see that's going. Do we have anything else to come before Streets and Sidewalks? Then we are adjourned, and thank you all for attending.
Thank you.